All right. Hi again, and thank you so much, the Sound Test Room, for letting the world know about this project, Saving Caustic. And for you who are new here, this started out this autumn as a project. Me starting to, I just puzzled, and now I know I'm not the only one. I was just puzzled by the fact that Caustic, this fantastic app, was just abandoned by its developer. It wasn't bought by any big company, or he wasn't dead. I actually thought he got eaten by sharks. He lives in Australia, fine. But no, it just abandoned. Okay, fine. Um, it can happen to us all. And so I just tried to, is there anyone out there who also want to save this app? So you can find that video on YouTube. I made some. The first one is called "All I Want for Christmas is Caustic 3.5." And the funny thing is that in that video, I gave just a small hint that in Caustic you can use noise inside instruments to create them, to get the more nice feeling of them. You can check that out. And the funny thing is that the guy who recommended me now the Sound Test Room, his latest video is just about that same thing. And I think that's a great thing to talk about, how you can how a thing that is considered bad can you really be the thing that you want. um, because I want to create, I'm not in any rush. I really want to learn C. I really want, and I really want to having people collaborating and everything. But things takes time, unfortunately, and I can't work on this full time. um, and Okay, I just also want to mention that we are 300 now, and that's great. So the thing is that you see a lot of ads here in front of these videos now. If we reach 1,000 subscribers, I can turn off those ads because I don't need the money for the ads currently. So I can just skip. Everyone will benefit. We can skip the ads. So spread the word if you want to. That's would be great. Okay, where were we? Yeah, back to the sound test room, because he was mentioning about how do you get hold of caustic. So now I'll switch to this view, and you should be here in the Wayback Machine. If you go there to single cell software, you can find actually these links works, and I think that they are way safer than the dodgy zips that he also mentions in his blog that you should probably avoid. So these are probably safe. I use this one and run that on Linux. I can't comment on the other ones. So that's that. And now over to, because I have struggled a lot with swing. I've been making these kind of a lot of formulas and a lot of having integrations on trigonometry to just get things right, because swing is way harder than you think it is when you start looking at the math. Something that is so simple for the human ear and the human musicality becomes really hard when it comes to implementing that in a dumb you know computer that really wants everything to be in a grid. So first I thought I had cracked it. So here we have, like, if we say that this is 1, this is 2. Oh, I should have numbers on these. But you can just, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's the 3 here, down here, that we swing the most. So if it's the 8th swing, this is the 8th, this is 16th here. So this note will be swung. So then if we have like a 66% swing, this note will be dragged over here to 66% of its range here. So that note will be fired here instead. And this note, since it's only half the distance to this will be here. And you can think that, okay, that's that. Would that mean that that note is dragged all the way there? No, it's not. It's not. But we just can skip that note for now. But what you want is that you want the thing to have the triplet feeling. Like if we have 1, 2, 3, and the silent 4 unswung, then it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when we swing it with 66%, you get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So like triplets. Or, yeah, you could think that was a waltz, but that's not my point here. That da 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 da. You get it. So that's the triplets. Swing by 66%. But the problem is, I was so happy about this, and I also got compliments from GDP. Can you imagine? But the math is not right. It's just not right, because it doesn't work like this. I think a better analogy is if you have a bike wheel. Hang on. If you have a bike wheel and you start to rotate this wheel, it spins with a constant velocity, right? So there's no swing. But then here, you attach a weight, and then you will decrease the tempo when it goes upward, and you will increase the tempo when it goes downward. So you will have the lowest velocity here and the highest velocity here. So here's the 1 now, and here is the 2, and here's the 3, and here's the 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So that's a better analogy. And that becomes a bit more complicated, because then we have the gravity. That's the part of the equation here. That's in exponential, and we have actually the cosine. So the angle here affects how much gravity is pulling stopping the velocity. So when it's at top, the velocity is the minimum, but on the other hand, the gravity, the weight doesn't affect the velocity anymore, because the cosine at 90 degrees is 0. And then, so if the weight is heavy enough, you bet down, and they will never reach here. But since we still want to, the drummers will play, you get there, and then so you have the rotation going on, and then you have the swing. So in this, from 0 to 90 takes just as long time as from here to here. So there's no time difference going from 1 to 2 as going from 2 to 3. And that explains how you can get triplets, because then if we get this distance to be the triplet feel, this will also be the triplet feel, and this silent half turn will be the triplet note. So we get back to this 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You get it. So then we have the lowest velocity here, and that is excellently laid out in Caustic. But there is a problem. There's a catch. So hang on. Because if we load this in Caustic, I should hear this. Funny thing in Caustic, you can't delete a project. You know that. I haven't found a way, and that's a problem in the iPad, because the FTP server never works. If someone knows how to make the FTP server work in iOS, please post a comment, because there's no way you can delete a project. That's a bummer. Anyhow, let's load this project I've made, and this is a bit funny because it's a super slow tempo at the max swung. So if I play this now, and this is not too high for you. So here you can hear the analogy of the wheel, right? So we're stopping there, and we go back, and so there you have it. And that's complicated math. And the problem is that you can you can let's say you want, this is so funny because let's say you want to let's say you get here in the time, the clock time, and you find this note, and the swing that you have assigned says, oh yeah, this note should be executed here. Okay, fine, I get it. I wait. I know. This should be executed here. So when I am here, I should look back at this note. But it doesn't work like that. But because when you get here, um, the swing has increased. So the the distance, because you didn't store it in memory, you thought that okay, I can look backwards. Just the swing forward is the swing as the swing backward, and it isn't, because the swing constantly changes. So the math becomes like insane. I have an Excel sheet that I shouldn't go into, but it's like integrals of trigonometry and stuff, and it's just, you know, a mess. But the important thing is that, listen to this. This is fun. It doesn't play back where I pressed it. That means that if you do like playing with a MIDI keyboard in Caustic and maybe also other DAWs and have a swing, your recordings of the notes will then be incorrectly placed in the timeline. So when you play back that you recorded, it will sound funny. And I wouldn't be surprised if quite a lot of DAWs has that flaw. And I can't have that flaw. I just, you know, it's not possible. I'm a, you know, super analog guy. I use, this is my like favorite instrument, and I use it constantly, playing with the, you know, funny. With different, you know, tunings and yada yada, because it's fun, you know. And I have no intentions making any records or anything music production, but I want to have fun, and I want the instrument, the digital instrument that I use, to be accurate, and not to make funny things on the way. That will make me, you know, those things make me super angry. So yeah, don't get me started. Um, and finally, one more thing that I also want to bring in is if you want to contribute in anyhow, in any way, and I know a lot of people want to do that and are a bit frustrated with me being so slow. Maybe I do my best. I can assure you that. I don't want to take any shortcuts. But what you can do if you want to is that you can just explore for yourself. If you are into backend and C++, this is the things like port audio and the Android oboe. There's online tutorials for that. And there's something called the forced audio that you can use to make effective C++ code, as I have understood. I'm not sure. And if you're interested in the front end stuff, I think we really need to use the Pinia for the view. I think that could be really valuable to have the Pinia communicating with a WebSocket server for fast interaction. So these are like, you can just check them out if you're in anyhow associated with these projects in your work or career somehow. You know, that could just be a good thing to know that this is the things that probably will be very valuable when we reach the real-time audio that I'm very much looking forward to. I just don't want to be there and having to do refactoring in C++, because that will be way harder for me than doing it in PHP. Okay, and that's all for now. So yeah, bought a new mic. It's actually first time I use it, so you know we should definitely play more, shouldn't we? As I said before, I get a kick. For every new subscriber, I get a kick. I have to admit that. I'm not the Facebook guy, but for every new subscriber, I do get a kick. And if we reach 1,000 subscribers, I can turn off the commercials. So that's just, amazing if we can reach that. Take care, everybody. See you.